Do you see this headstock or what's left of it? Oh, God. What is this? This was a production bass. How? No, they're not ugly. They look really good. No, they don't. Hey y'all, Patrick here, and we're looking at ugly basses again. Yes, I know, but y'all keep watching, y'all keep wanting more, and y'all keep suggesting more too, so hey, let's go ahead and make volume 4 already, right? Stop. Let's just take a moment real quick. Quite a few of you guys disagree with me, but hey, guess what? It's okay. We can have different opinions, and plus, this is literally just about the aesthetics of these basses. It's funny either way though, I will say about that. But really, we should be less like these people and more like Kloss guitars. From, if you remember in the last episode, I kind of didn't like a few of their basses to say the least, but they, I guess one of them saw it or something, and they actually commented, which I think is so awesome. It's hilarious, it's awesome, and they did it with Kloss too, or should I say they did it with Kloss. But if you remember 2 episodes ago, we started with the Gibson Power Hour. Well, guess what today is? It's time for the Fender Power Hour! Yes, Fender themselves. What? They made such classics as the jazz bass and the precision bass. They could do no wrong. Oh, trust me, they have done a lot wrong. Starting with the Fender Katana. It just doesn't look real. It looks like it looks like terrible concept art that just got away, and somebody like jokingly suggested it, and then someone at Fender and Squier were just like, yeah, let's do that. But really, no. Why did you do that? Like, the body is one thing, so you got like their version of a V shape, I guess, but it looks like it's also mixed with a weird icicle, I guess, and really mixed with the 80s hair rock, but they just put a P-bass pickup in it and that headstock. Do you see this headstock or what's left of it? Oh, God. The Fender Performer. Hey, look at this. Let's ignore the ugly headstock. Let's ignore the body real quick. Do you see that? Oh my God, that's a Fender bass with 24 frets? What? No, that can't be real. Man, you would think that they would try to do something with 24 frets nowadays, maybe, but I guess that takes too much effort, maybe? But yeah, this body, why exactly? They were just like, hey, you know the Strat, our very popular Strat? Well, let's go ahead and give it some really weird angles on top of that. Oh, hey, Bobby, you remember those leftover headstocks we had from the Katana? Yeah, just throw them on this as well. No, they're not ugly. They look really good. No, they don't. But the pickups in these, I want to know what those are. Unless they're just, I guess, reworked jazz bass pickups, which would be really lame. Now this one, I can't talk smack on, cause I really like this. I sort of have this thing for headless basses. I'm sure that you've realized now. I really want one, I really like them. And this is something that was almost there. And this is the Fender Kubricki Factor. It's super cool. I know, some of y'all are gonna hate this and I don't really care because man, look at that shape. That is so cool. This is something where it's innovative, it's new, and it's different. They messed up on the headstock. No. You didn't need any of that. They could have just done a pure, just straight headless one, and this would have been perfect. But man, the body itself, I really like this. I mean, traditionally it's ugly, but that's awesome. Come on. The Squier HM. No. Just no. I don't know, it reminds me of Jackson's. Y'all know how I feel about Jackson's, and then it's just, it looks like they elongated it a little bit for no reason at all. The horns are super thin, super gross looking. And then the headstock looks just like a weird shark fin, and no. The Schecter Riot. It's not horrible. It's different. I don't really care for it 100%, but I'm not like disgusted by it, to be honest. The top though, the entire just like top and the finish on it is so cool looking. I don't really care for the headstock either, but you know, that's neither here nor there. It's just, the body's cool. It's just not my cup of tea, to say the least. but the finish on it is super awesome. And quite a few of you have asked about it, and certainly I was never going to skip the beautiful basses of BC Rich. Now, if we remember BC Rich, this was a thing many, many years ago that just, And then they came back, and nothing's really helped since then, and it's really trying to do something just out there. They're trying to do something that your mom's just gonna hate. Move over, cause rock and roll and metal is in. And it's really ugly. Oh no. The Gunai LB-24. This is the most uninteresting, bland, and just plain sad bass I believe I've ever seen. There's nothing about it that excites me. There's nothing about it that makes me say, wait a second, I bet that sounds or plays great. Because my God, this is just mediocre. I feel like this is one of those basses where it's $80 at Walmart or something like that, and it looks cheap, doesn't look like it could be fun to play. The body itself, there's nothing special or inventive about it. Even the finish, just plain black. Beautiful. And then of course the headstock, it looks like a different kind of shark fin maybe, and no, just put it out of its misery. There's a thing about ugly basses, because a lot of ugly basses at least have character. They have souls. But this is just nothing. Nothing. But really though, it's just, there's nothing special about this. The hammer scarab. Wow. No. No. It looks like they wanted to take Warwick's buzzard design, and they're like, you know what? Let's make our own version of it and make it even worse. Because this, God, why? It's like they wanted to put together the buzzard from Warwick and the explorer from Gibson and make something that's 5 times, 10 times worse, where it's just nothing. And it's just really ugly, and the headstock's gross looking too. And I don't know why they decided to put that little outline around the logo on the headstock instead of just having the inverted color for the headstock logo, but that makes it just look like someone put a piece of tape over it too, which is just even worse, but no. The Vaquero X-ray bass. Now this one seems really weird and off-putting because it seems like an amalgamation of 2 different things. One, a very standard, offset, weird-looking, like cheap bass body with what looks like it could be the cheapest parts ever, and it has one of those really ugly pick guards that a lot of really cheap, random like guitar makers have. And then it has an aluminum neck. What? And I've brought up these headstocks before. I actually really like these headstocks a lot. They're ugly, and I do admit that, but I really like them. But how does this really weird, ugly bass that just seems very cheap on the body part have such a unique neck? I don't like that. The Washburn SB1P. Why does this exist? It's just a really strange looking P bass where obviously they started with a P bass shape and just sort of like did different things with it, but instead of making it more good looking, like say the Ernie Ball Cutlass, obviously that's their take on the P bass, they just went really like ugly with it, if that's a way that people design things. And then I hate the headstock. Oh, I've never really liked Washburn's headstocks that look like this, especially the reverse ones. There's something about it doesn't set well with me. But overall, this bass, no, you'll never see me spending a single penny on an ugly thing like this. The Electra Outlaw. I like this a lot, actually. The body looks like one of those Ernie Ball, the Music Man Albert Lee's, I guess. Kind of. I wish it was a little more rounded on the bottom. Right now it looks like a piece of clay, sort of. I really like the headstock on this. The only thing that I would actually consider ugly on this bass is the fretboard inlays, just because I think they really look like out of place and they shouldn't be there. Regular block inlays I think would look better. These just look like someone put pasta in the fretboard, which is really weird. But I know, like, this is a weird looking bass, but I think it's really cool looking too. It's not perfect by any means, but This is one of those unique ones that has characteristics to it that are, I think, pretty unique looking, and it's not ugly. Not bad. The Guild Jetstar. Come on. What is this? This was a production bass. How? This thing just looks huge. Look at that. It just looks like a weird, oddly shaped pancake or something. Or just like that one thing off of Finding Nemo, but just like stretched out a little bit. The headstock, I will say, looks okay. It reminds me of like the Fender Starcaster, sort of, and like, I guess like a Thunderbird style, like a thicker one. But the body, who wanted this? Who designed this? I mean, it's not even a design. You can't even call that something that's been designed. It's just something that somebody jokingly like brought out of a blank, and they're just like, hey, look at this. Oh, you want to sell that? Oh, okay. This one's interesting. From Andy Spark, he says, go to baseline bass.d. You can choose English version in the upper right corner. Then take a look at their instruments. What is your opinion about their basses? So, I go to this website. I don't know what I'm gonna, see right now. Looks like a German luthier of some sort. I guess the brand is called Bassline. Their first model is called the Buster. I like the Buster. This is actually really rad looking bass. The headstock isn't my favorite, but I think the body looks super cool. And this also looks really high quality, and the wood and the finish itself looks awesome. Then it gets weird from here. Here's the Rebel. What is this? Like, obviously, it just seems like such a jump too from the first bass to this now. Then we have the Athlete. This is one of Gumby's friends. We're bringing back Gumby for this one, y'all. It's headless. I was talking about headless earlier, but the body itself, yikes. This is the Warp. I do want to play this though, because I want to feel what it's like to have the body go up the entirety of the neck. And this is the Viper. It looks like a weird version of Flea's bass. And that's about it. Nothing really special about this one. Nothing compares to the Warp. That's gonna haunt my dreams. And then they do custom designs as well. And this is where it gets fun. And by fun, I mean weird. And by weird, I mean kind of scary. But nonetheless fun. The Kerbo from Court. It looks like something from the future, but a very scary version of the future. It also looks like one of those gunblade things from Final Fantasy, or the Keyblades from Kingdom Hearts. A lot of fret access though, I will say that. And our final two today are two very special Warwicks. First, we have the Thumb. I hate how much smaller the body is than the headstock. It just, no matter what, that just doesn't look good. But I think it's not heavy, essentially. But the thing about the Thumbs is, if you ever play one, you'll notice something instantly, and that is that the body sort of does that. Does a little curve, which is different. And it's a really weird feeling when you play it, but it's actually, it's kind of cool too. It's hard to explain. I just hate the look of the body though, and I hate how much smaller than the headstock it is. And then finally we have the Dolphin. Weird. And why? And it's ugly. I don't know. It's just such a strange shape. It also just seems really like crushed together in the weirdest fashion. And then it has dolphin inlays, which is unique. I've never said to myself, I want an animal as my inlays. Actually, I take that back. I want my dogs as little inlay markers. That'd be really cool. But thank y'all so much for watching. As always, let me know what other ugly basses are out there, y'all. Y'all are still throwing them at me left and right, and I love that. If you like this video, like it, share it, show your friends, be angry, show your friends and be like, hey, see how wrong this guy is? Because that's what quite a few people do every time I make one of these. But thank y'all so much for sharing this, liking it. It's a lot of fun really interacting with you guys about this. Again, it's not a big deal. This is just an opinion piece. And remember, we can still be friends and have different views on ugly basses. But if you like this video, want to see more ugly bass videos, want to see more videos about bass gear and more bass covers and bass stuff just in general throughout the universe, go ahead and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell too, so you can actually see when new videos drop. And if you want to be like these amazing people right over here and help support the channel, head over to my Patreon page for things like early access to videos, inclusions and giveaways, and more fun stuff like that. But thank y'all so much for watching as always, and I'll see y'all next time.